Hello and welcome to another edition of Another Book Review. This week I'll be reviewing Hyde by Kiersten White. I'll talk very briefly about the author, go into a spoiler-free overview of the plot, talk about what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, who I'd recommend the book to, and finish off with what I will be reading for next time. Kiersten White is actually a really prolific, mostly YA author who's been writing for I'd say about 10 years now. She has written stuff in the Star Wars universe, novels in the Star Wars universe, novels in the Buffy universe. She's written like 20 novels altogether. Most of it is YA. This book, Hyde, I would say is maybe between YA and adult horror. Most of the protagonists or the characters in this novel are in their 20s, early to mid 20s, and there's cursing. There's definitely violence, and there's definitely some gore, but I wouldn't say it's full blown of those things. So I would say if there's a genre between YA horror and adult horror, I would place Hyde in that. And what the book is about is there is an abandoned amusement park in this city called I believe it's Asterion, which is a made-up city. And in this amusement park, there are 14 contestants who are invited to basically play a game of hide and seek for a week. So you have 14 contestants that are invited to play hide and seek in this abandoned amusement park as part of this contest, and the ultimate winner of the contest would win a prize of $50,000, and and then we meet the contestants, and that's really the bones of the novel. And each day there are two contestants that lose. So that's really the threads of the novel. That's the main plot of the novel, just bare bones, spoiler-free plot of the novel. It does have horror elements. It does have some horrific stuff that happens, but that's essentially the plot. It's a game of hide and seek with these 14 contestants who have come from all over, and I thought that was a really cool concept. It's similar in a ways, I guess, to something. It's similar to like Hunger Games or Battle Royale, but it's not either one of those things. Completely has its own, I think, unique vibe to it. I think it is genuinely creepy. There's kind of a mystery at the center of the novel, and the reveal of that mystery that happens, I'd say about halfway through the book, I thought was really, really well done. And I think whenever Kiersten has to bring kind of eeriness or creepiness or things that are unnerving or horrific, I think she does a good job of doing that. The way that the book is structured is, at least for the first 2/3 of the novel, done as far as what day it is in the contest, so day 1, day 2, day 3. And I think that gives the novel a bit of propulsion with it. And I think for the first 2/3 of the novel is fairly propulsive. I think as far as on the con side, I think the last third is maybe a little bit less propulsive. And while I thought the ideas in this novel were really, really well done, my issues was mostly on the execution. You know, when you're dealing with 14 characters, it's a lot of characters to keep track of. And I think it could have been maybe pared down a little bit, so we would have had fewer characters, but maybe more time with each of the characters. You know, you kind of know by the cover and the back of the book what kind of genre you're getting into with this. So I don't expect to spend all the time in the world with all 14 characters. But even then, I thought, given the amount of characters, we didn't really get that developmental time that we needed to. So a lot of the characters felt kind of like thin concepts and less as like characters that I cared about. There are probably 4 or 5 main characters in the book. And even of those 4 and 5, most of them I either didn't care for or didn't care about. She tries really, really, really hard to make you care about 1 or 2 characters, and I found myself bouncing off of both of them. I thought there were some plot holes that were pretty glaring in the novel, and I thought the ending maybe could have been a little bit stronger. There's a lot of social commentary in the book as well, so if you're someone who maybe shies away from books with social commentary, this may be something to just be aware of. But most of my frustration was in the execution. I thought it was a cool concept. I thought that the way that she handled the horror elements was really well done. I think she had a good job of, again, navigating between being too overt and gory and being less or more psychological and scary. I think it's definitely more on the psychological and eerie/scary side of things. But I thought she threaded that needle really well. I thought it was a cool concept, a cool mystery at the center of it. But I felt like it would have been a stronger... I thought there was just some pieces in the book that just didn't work, and most of those pieces were surrounding the characters. I thought a lot of them felt kind of thin and throwaway, and there were times where they didn't really feel like fully realized people. Some of them were, like I said, most of the characters are in their early to mid-20s. Some of them felt really much younger than that to me. I wish there was more development with some of them in terms of having more dimensions to the characters. But overall, I enjoyed the book while I was reading it. I felt it lost a little bit of steam in the last third. But if you're looking for something that is, like I said, more on the psychological or eerie side and less on the gory side, it's a pretty quick read. It's only about 250 pages, so it's not going to take you too long. And if that concept sounds interesting to you, I would definitely recommend checking it out. The only people I maybe, like I said, would not recommend it to, there's cursing and there's a little bit of sexuality in it, but nothing like overt. So I would maybe someone who's on the older age for YA, or maybe someone who is an adult who likes kind of that liminal space between older YA and full adult horror would maybe check this out. If you kind of like something like The Hunger Games or like Battle Royale, or just kind of this idea of like throwing all these characters into this kind of pressure cooker of an environment and seeing what happens, then I would definitely take a look at Hyde. So that's Hyde by Kiersten White, and next time I'm going to be reading The Cryptopians by Laura Shin. Until next time, please like the video. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. And I will go ahead and leave my Twitter link below if you want to check me out there. Until next time, bye.